I get a craving for dragon fruit, I go down to my local farmer's market. They'll have them sometime, but they run about $7 each. And then I sometimes go over to the Asian market not too far from my place. I can get them there for about $2.99 a pound. A little better price, much better than $7 each. Now I've tried growing dragon fruit myself, and I had a plant growing inside the store for a few years, but it would shoot out runners and across the floor, and I'd just fold them back and lay them back onto the pot. So we had a twisted, mangled mess of plant parts. Now I moved that outside and put a frame over the top of it so it'd have something to grow on. And that was working out pretty well. I mean, it had a lot of branches sticking through there and was ready to bear fruit. And then winter came. It's what winter in Texas does to a dragon fruit plant. That's not good. Now I could have moved that in, but at the time it was the branches from that were interlaced through this frame. I'm not going to do it that way this time. Okay, so I just recently acquired some more dragon fruit plant. And these pieces have some roots on it. That's got a good root on it. But I'm going to put that in this pot, and I'm going to put a post in the middle of that pot for the plant to grow on. You know, as it grows, I can tie it to it, and it can get taller and turn into kind of a bush on the top, which is where the fruit actually grows. I also want to make it where whenever it's time to transplant this, if I need to go to a bigger pot in the future, that I can lift all the dirt and the root ball up using the post that sticks out of the pot. I think a 12-inch foot would work pretty well in here, so you have kind of a cross with the post mounted in the middle. Our rotary saws aren't big enough to go all the way through that, so I'm using a pull saw for this. And this, you can be very accurate with that, but I'm not really worried about accuracy too much. Since this is going to be down on the bottom of a pot, nobody's ever going to see it. It just has to hold together. But for practice sake, I'll try and be accurate. Pull saw cuts on the pull, not on the push. And I always have trouble with saws when I'm trying to push it and it flexes. Don't have to worry about that with the pull saw. Now this is an old cedar post that I replaced on my porch. It's a little bit old and dilapidated. It's been there for probably 4 decades, but that's about the right height. So it's a little under 6 foot. It's like 5'10", something like that. Didn't measure it because it's not that critical. But the idea. It started off a little bit longer than that because I'm cutting the feet off of that board too. So I mean, it started off about 8 feet. So I'm going to make 4 of these and kind of notch them like that, and that way well, that won't work. I'm going to cut that off just a little bit so I go 4 equal feet. It's a miscalculation on my part because I can only do 2 if I do that. That's more better. Just have to find some screws, drill some holes, and get those attached. The cedar's pretty tough stuff, and it does well in the ground. I've got some deck screws. These are a little bit used, but they're still pretty good shape. They have a coating on there to help keep them from rusting quite so fast. So hopefully that'll hold up for a while. Yep, there's all 4 pieces. Seems to stand okay. Question is, will it fit in the pot? Let's see. It barely. But that's all it has to do, is just barely fit. It's been a week or so, maybe almost 2, since I've planted this. We have some new growth, and that will put out a stem that will have little tendrils that reach out and would normally attach to bark. This type of thing would grow against a tree, and the tendrils would lock into the bark and would allow the plant just to continue to grow up. Eventually I'm going to put some kind of wood pieces on the top where makes kind of a pergola, a real small one, where all the branches will be able to lay here after they get this high, and that's where the fruit will hang off of the branches that are resting on the boards that are up here. So I'm going to wrap rope starting here and going down. It's not going to be really tight wrapped. There'll be probably 3 or 4 inches between each wrap, and those will be attached with these bent galvanized nails to hold the rope in place on that. Not bad. Lots of places to put those clammy tendrils now.
Friends, have you ever had your guzzle squeezed by a clammy tendril? Ooh, it's awful.
That's it for the post for this, and that should accommodate any big bunch of branches that pop up at the top. Yes, my projects usually take a little while because I only have short periods of time and some very small amounts of money. So when I have a few bucks, I buy something towards the project, and when I have a few minutes, I invest my time in my project. But it's only been a couple days since I was talking about that little guy, and we've got a bunch of new branches coming off of this one too, so it won't be long. I'll be trying to train the new branches to climb that post. Well, I hope this has been interesting to you. I'll be coming back to it from time to time to show the progress. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.
Who'd have thunk it?